Prophet Muhammad in the light of Quran. The word Muhammad means the one who is highly praised. The status of a speaker changes the value of a statement, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was praised extensively by Allah. All creatures in the universe are in submission before Allah. Chapter Maryam, verse 93. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the first among all creatures who worshipped Allah. Chapter Zukhruf, verse 81, and was the first Muslim. Chapter Anam, verse 163. Allah first imparted knowledge of Quran to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and then created Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. Chapter Rahman, verse 2 and 3. When the angels were commanded by Allah to bow down before Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was at an exalted status, that is Aleen. Chapter Sad, verse 75. He was the first among Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, Abraham alayhi salam, Moses alayhi salam, and Jesus alayhi salam to make covenant of prophethood with Allah. Chapter Ahzab, verse 7. He was born in fine personalities of believers. Chapter Al Imran, verse 164. His prophethood is also referred in Torah and Injil, that is Bible. Chapter Araf, verse 157. Allah gave him complete knowledge of seen and unseen things. Chapter Nahl, verse 89, and the religion of truth, that is Haqq. Chapter Fatah, verse 28. He was always on the right path. Chapter Yasin, verse 4, was sent as a witness, bearer of good news, a warner with full authority, and a light-giving torch. Chapter Ahzab, verse 45 and 46. Is a mercy for all creatures. Chapter Anbiya, verse 107, was firmly established and therefore was a Masoom. Chapter Isra, verse 74. Belief in him. Chapter Fatah, verse 9, his command. Chapter Anfal, verse 1, obedience. Chapter Ahzab, verse 31, path. Chapter Shura, verse 52, bounty. Chapter Fatah, verse 59, decree. Chapter Ahzab, verse 36, hand. Chapter Anfal, verse 17, share, that is fifth part of booty. Chapter Anfal, verse 41, promise. Chapter Ahzab, verse 22, authority. Chapter Maida, verse 55, opposition. Chapter Tawbah, verse 63, defiance. Chapter Anam, verse 33, and allegiance to him. Chapter Fatah, verse 10, betrayal of his trust. Chapter Anfal, verse 27, and to reject him. Chapter Tawbah, verse 54, are intrinsically integrated with Allah. Allah never disassociated him nor was ever displeased with him. Chapter Ad-Duha, verse 3. His will was completely superimposed on the likes and dislikes of Allah. Chapter Insan, verse 30. The verse 2, 3 and 4 of Chapter Najm laid down the principle for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He errs not, nor is led astray, and nor he speaks of his own inclination. Those who make distinction between Allah and Prophet by partially accepting the prophethood on the pretext that at times he was prophet are true unbelievers. Chapter Nisa, verse 151 and 150. Prophet Muhammad and Ale Muhammad, his purified progeny, are in ever closeness, that is qurb to Allah, and Allah directs the believers to seek their closeness. Chapter Ahzab, verse 56. Quran was revealed on his heart. Chapter Baqarah, verse 97. Allah swore by the strength of heart of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Chapter Qaf, verse 1, and says, if Quran was sent down on the mountain, they would have perished. Chapter Hashr, verse 21. Allah glorified him by swearing his life, chapter Hijr, verse 72, his prophethood, chapter Yasin, verse 1, and city of Makkah, where he resided, chapter Balad, verse 1 and 2, praising his character, chapter Qalam, verse 4, and exalting his esteem, chapter Insharia, verse 4. Allah directed the believers to assist and honor him and to submit to his highness, chapter Fatah, verse 9. Moreover, Allah directed the believers not to put themselves forward before him, not to address the Prophet in high tone as they talk among themselves, and talk to him in a humble low voice, chapter Hujurat, verse 1, 2 and 3. Allah addressed all the prophets with their names, but addressed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with titles Yasin, Muzammil, Mudattir, Taha. Allah addressed the Prophet in Quran as your, that is Muhammad's sustainer, that is Rabb, 211 times, and the sustainer of the people 15 times. Allah commanded the believers to always respond promptly to the call of Prophet. Chapter Anfal, verse 24. Replying to the taunt of his enemies, Allah said, he is not insane. Chapter Takwir, verse 22. And nor he is a poet. Chapter Haqqa, verse 41. His uncle Abu Lahab, a bitter enemy, was condemned to suffer severest punishment till eternity. Chapter Lahab. And Allah bestowed the Prophet with infinite abundance in growth and profit. Chapter Kausar. The Prophet asked no reward for the toil of prophethood from the Ummah, but to display apex of love, that is mawaddat, to his near of kins. Chapter Shura, verse 23. At the time when he had 9 wives, he showed his near of kins, taking along Hazrat Ali, Lady Fatima, Imam Hassan and Hussein for contest, that is Mubaila, with the Christians. Chapter Al Imran, verse 61. Moreover, he showed the same personalities, taking them under his shawl, when verse Al-Tathir was revealed. Chapter Azab, verse 33. He said that my Ahl Bayt are like the boat of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. Whosoever came on board gained salvation, and who remained away would drown and perish. He also said that Hussein is from me, and I am from Hussein. The Prophet has greater claim on the lives of the believers than they have on themselves. Chapter Ahzab, verse 6. And those who grieve the messenger, Allah curse them in this world and hereafter. Chapter Ahzab, verse 57.